You're watching the 5 Minute Bark Podcast on YouTube. If you like this episode, you just may like many more. Subscribe today by clicking the red subscribe button in the top right-hand corner. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. We're here today at the 5 Minute Bark Podcast in the studio here in San Diego, California. We've got a great guest here today from Funnel Magazine, and we're going to have some fun talking about funnels today. I'm a funnel fan, and we've got Mikado here today, and he's going to be talking to us about some really cool things. We just enjoyed a nice coffee bean tea lunch, and now we're going to chat with you guys here today. So Hawk, say hello to everybody here today.
Hey everybody, and thanks for having me on.
This is great, isn't it?
Definitely. I'm excited to share about funnels and marketing and all sorts of things that we can do to help make some money.
He decided to come into the studio, and I was like, it's a little more complicated than doing over Skype, so kind of you have to bear with me. But I think we got it dialed this time. We're going to have some fun. It's going to be a little more professional, and you get to see his pretty face right here in the studio. So it's going to be really good. So thank you for coming in here today. And so let's share a little bit about your history and why you got into funnels first off.
So I started out as an entrepreneur when I was really young, and by the time I was in 6th grade, I'd built over 5 companies, started my 6th company, which was a marketing company, and helped my dad, my uncle, friends and families build their companies up. And about 5 years ago, I decided to go online and started to take some of the information that I'd learned and start to translate that into more online-based marketing. Social media was just starting to get to the peak of it, and Facebook was really just starting to pick up and boom. That was kind of the transition from doing all the stuff that I used to. And I had my first website in 1999. So it wasn't that I wasn't online. It was just that we were focusing on offline strategies. What I realized really early on was that a funnel is the same offline that is online. And when you realize that and you take that into account, your funnels are going to be a lot more successful when you bring the process that you're using offline to make sales and use that same process to make sales online.
Funnel. What is a funnel? Everybody hears this word. You and I, it's like second nature to know what a funnel is. I know there's some videos on ClickFunnels that kind of share that. Can you kind of share to the public what a funnel is and why they came about? Because we're so used to having fancy brochures, and then we went to online and having fancy websites, but now these new funnel things. What's this funnel thing all about?
So funnel is really designed for the people in the world who have attention deficit disorder, like all of us entrepreneurs, or shiny object syndrome. And if we see a navigation at the top, we are going to just go off and do 100 different things. So funnels were originally designed to create and give you one goal. You either say yes or you say no. And if you say no, you go and leave the site. If you say yes, you're going to take one specific action. That might be giving me your contact information. You might want to give me your name, phone number, and email so you can get an ebook or a resource guide or a video or be able to subscribe to a podcast like you guys have. So that's one action. Another action might be to make a purchase. And there are multiple different ways to do it. You can ask for more information. You can ask for less information. And depending on the information you're asking for, depends on the result and the conversion rate, as we like to use in your funnel.
So like this guy over here, this young guy we have in our studio watching, he's a millennial, so you can't keep their attention for more than 1 millisecond, right? So you got to just put one thing on the page for them to focus on, yes or no, and gone. Whereas everybody's so used to these complicated websites, and they think that's what they want, but that's not really what they need. Because the bottom line is you need to get paid. You need to get somebody to talk to get money from, and this helps you do that. So that's basically a long story short of a funnel, right?
Yep, exactly.
So some of these things, there's some tactics out there that I've enjoyed. I'm sure you are enjoying a million because you're a super pro funnel maker. I'm just an expert. But some of these things called tripwires and different things, giveaways. You talked about that a little bit at lunch as well. Can you share a little bit? Because a lot of people out there don't understand this whole tactic. And literally, by you saying this right now, they're going to have some value bombs come to them.
Awesome. So when you're creating a funnel, especially when you're introducing yourself to someone new, they want a lower barrier to commitment. So a tripwire, which was coined quite a long time ago, is a low barrier to entry. Now, I'm huge in psychology. I love psychology. We were joking a little bit about this before, about some psychological stuff. And depending on the type of client, depends on where their buying baseline is. So if you're in B2C, the client's buying baseline is going to be a lot lower. So the amount that they're going to spend on a tripwire is going to be a lot less. What's interesting is most people think of your tripwire as a $7, maybe up to $47. Well, in the B2B space, we can do a $500, even a $5,000 tripwire with the right company.
Wow.
So knowing who your client is more important than the price tag you put on it. But the point of it is, what's that lowest barrier to entry? What, if they were to spend it, how much are they willing to spend without thinking about it? And we all think of a cup of coffee, right?
So a no-brainer opt-in.
Yeah, it's a no-brainer.
Like
purchase.
Free or $7. Hey, I have $7 right now. I can throw my credit card in there quick and just grab this, 5 steps to success, or 5 steps to make my girlfriend love me, or something like that, right?
Yep. Yeah. So those are all really great. And the $7 is the most common, just because that's what Ryan Deiss uses. And then a whole bunch of people followed suit and just did the $7 thing. We actually created, we combined 2 ideas. Ryan Deiss is very well known for a $7 tripwire, and Russell Brunson talks a lot about the invisible funnel. And the invisible funnel is designed to get you to give your credit card and then charge you later if you like it. So we actually created a $0 tripwire where you didn't pay anything for it. You got to use the service, and then once you're done using the service, if you want to upgrade, you can. And what we found is that we were able to generate about $191 on average on the first page, where they were buying a $0 product, but then we offered an upsell on the same page for $257.
This is the guy I need to talk to.
So, I mean, there's a lot of things you can do. Use what's working, and also be willing to think outside the box at the same time.
Right. So basically, I'm just trying to summarize for the client, the audience out there. So basically, if you have a business out there and you're just considering, how do I get contacts? Think of something you can give away or charge minimal for, $7, as Hawk explains here today. Something you can do, whether it's a quick pamphlet, 5 steps to success, 5 reasons why that I can sell you the #1 real estate in San Diego, whatever business you're in, find those little simple assets or ways you can communicate. And even better, you can even, if it's something necessarily you can't provide yourself, maybe you can team up with somebody else to kind of give a product away to help them get that information. It's all about some of the things I always talk about is celebrity status. It's about getting yourself out there and getting yourself known and establishing a relationship, and then you can sell them more and more and more. Right?
Exactly. Yeah. I love what you just shared, because so many people try to become the expert, but are not able to do it because they don't have the credibility and clout that some of the people who have. So credibility is transferred. It's rapport is transferred. You can transfer rapport. This is extremely common if you go to an event, when the main speaker introduces the person who's coming on stage, the success that they will have is based on how the rapport is transferred. If the person basically says, welcome up, XYZ person, and then walks off the stage as the other person's walking on, there's no rapport transfer. And that person's sales on stage are actually going to be a lot less. So the same goes for if you're building a funnel. If you have someone who either endorses you, or you can co-create a product with them. Look at books. All these people are writing books, and then they have forewords by Jack Canfield or Robert Kiyosaki or Russell Brunson or any of these people who are already experts. And now they're basically leveraging that expertise and saying, look, I wrote a book with this really smart, famous, brilliant person. So by design, the people who are reading that are automatically going to think that you're as intelligent.
You're associated.
Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, a perfect example is I was on Grant Cardone's show. So I can use that now in all my promotions, as featured in Grant Cardone's show for manufacturing celebrity status. So definitely. And transfers into a funnel. So somehow you're going to give away that initial stuff to gain that credibility. So then you can get them. So maybe only going to cost you $7 right now, but later on, I'm going to knock you with a good $180 product or something so later on.
Yep.
Awesome. So Funnel Magazine. tell us why you designed this. I mean, obviously these things are new, up and coming. A lot of people need to learn a lot, but tell me your purpose.
So the real main driver behind this is that we had, we're in all sorts of Facebook groups. We're in all sorts of different communities where people talk about funnels, and we look at some of the things that are being said, and it's just straight up not true. And you have people giving bad advice to new people who then go take that bad advice and then give the same bad advice to the next person. And it's terrifying to see all of these people who are building funnels and then they're not successful with them, and then they say funnels don't work, and it tarnishes the reputation of one of the most powerful, most incredible tools that we have ever had up until this point. I mean, if you look at Tesla, one of the biggest launches in the world, they had a $14 billion launch. iPhone, I think the last 4 iPhones that have launched have had anywhere between a $3 to $5 billion launch. And these are all pre-sales, by the way. So these are funnels that are designed by these huge companies that are designed to sell one thing. And not only that, it's a product that they haven't even created yet. So there's a lot in there that I'm sharing.
Yeah.
And we actually have an entire training that we've done on pre-selling because of how important pre-selling is. And all of our VIP members from Funnel Magazine get access to that so that they can learn the process and really be able to build their own funnel and sell something before they've ever created it. As a matter of fact, Funnel Magazine is a pre-sale. It's not out. We haven't created it yet. We are in the process of developing it. We've sold a ton of copies. We've got thousands of subscribers in the digital. So we have a digital edition and then we have a print edition. And all of that is done because we have the ability to leverage a funnel, and we use funnels that we already know are working. So Funnel Magazine is real results from real people. It's real metrics. It's real split tests. It's real funnels that are already working, and you can actually see what people are actually doing. So we're featuring people who've made at least $100,000 with one funnel, and they're going to showcase that funnel. They're going to say, this is what I did for traffic. This is what I did for the funnel design. Here are the challenges that we've had. So we are actually building all of that in, and the special edition that's coming out later in the year, we're going to have 100 funnels that have made $100,000 or more.
Awesome.
And we're going to give the share link so you can actually take that funnel, you can add it into your own ClickFunnels account. All you got to do is add in the content and send it out to launch, send it to a similar target market, of course, and follow the process to be able to be a success.
That's awesome. I mean, there's so many things I want to talk about, but you keep on talking. But it's really interesting how you said you can literally launch a product even before you existed. So I've learned this the hard way. You got to find out what your market wants before you even sell something.
Yep.
I've had this idea of, this is a great idea. Let's build it. And I'll just build it, not asking the public. So with a funnel, you can essentially test your product even before you make it, like you said.
Yep.
I mean, an iPhone 8, they could probably put a thing out right now and get pre-orders, and it's not even made yet, right? And then they can ask us, well, what do you want in an iPhone 8? Oh, great. Well, I guess what we want. Let's build it that way. And they'll have had it prepaid, and there'll be a line out the door coming to go get it, and they didn't have it yet. So you're not Apple out there, everybody, but you can be just like Apple in the fact that you can create this great grand entrance, say what you're going to be doing, obviously find out what people want through the funnel, and if you get that interest, it's simple. Just build it, and they will come.
Drive the traffic. They will come, they'll buy, and then build it. Right? Yeah.
Which is another thing. Why don't you talk about driving traffic?
Traffic is there's a lot that goes into driving traffic, and generating leads is probably one of the easiest things in the world to do. You can generate tons and tons of leads, but if you're not generating the right leads, then I don't care what you're doing, you're not creating a funnel that's going to be successful. So if you're driving soccer moms to a funnel about shooting ranges for dads, well, you're obviously not going to be very successful at that. So I'm not going to talk about the platforms because I can talk about Facebook, I could talk about LinkedIn, I could talk about Google AdWords and all of these things. Right. Not only would we be here for like 3-4 weeks, probably at least. we want to focus on where your target market is. So go and look at where they're hanging out. So just like if you were to try to find them offline, if you wanted to go and meet soccer moms, you're going to go to a soccer game where they're hanging out, so then you could go sell them whatever you want to sell them. And part of that is also building a relationship first, though, because if you create something and you're not building that relationship with them, then they're not going to be interested in purchasing from you. So there's a lot of things that go into traffic. If I was to kind of point out anything, there's 4 platforms that you want to look at: online paid, online organic, so you're not paying for it, it's just building social relationships, offline paid, and offline organic. So how can you look at those 4 platforms and find the people where they hang out and then go talk to them there? We know that some of our best clients, so not only obviously we have Funnel Magazine that we're launching, we build funnels for people. That's our core of what we do. When we want to go find a new client, we go into groups where people are asking for support to build their funnels. So and that's an organic place that we can go online. If we want to go offline, we go to a conference. If we want to promote offline, we're going to go sponsor that conference or speak at that conference. Same thing with online, we're going to drive ads and traffic.
Hawk, you're very passionate about this stuff.
I am.
You're very passionate, and I can really see it in your answers and your body language throughout this whole entire interview. So I want to kind of switch directions here and a little bit more about you and why you're so passionate, where this passion came from in your life. I mean, did it come from your dad or did it come from your first deal? How did you get this passion? Because people out there, a lot of people are looking for that passion.
So part of my passion came from a couple different places. Part of it was I traveled the world growing up. We traveled around the world. By the time I was 18, I'd been to 13 different countries. And one of the things that always sticks with me is that every country that I went to, obviously I was pretty young. All the kids would always say my country is the best country in the world. And that really intrigued me because it gave me a perspective into the minds of all the people in the world, and it gave me a real passion for psychology. Marketing is just psychology, and that's one of the things. So if anything, I would say I have a passion for psychology with an emphasis on marketing. And I really want to know how people work. I want to be able to help people with what they're trying to do in the world. And my mission, my vision is that every single marketing campaign in the world is designed to create a positive impact. It's designed with excellence. It's designed to really change people's lives. And we can stop marketing all the crap that's out there. If you've got a product and it's not changing people's lives, it's not helping people, then in my opinion, in what I do, I don't want to be involved with that. I want to be standing behind products that I believe in, that I know are going to help people, and that are really going to take what my passion and my skill set and be able to change the world throughout that.
Awesome. This is awesome. Funnel Magazine here on the 5 Minute Bark podcast. I hope you guys learned a lot here today. I surely want you to be able to get on this magazine, subscribe to it. All right, we want to get some subscribers out there. And if you want to learn more about Hawk, how can they find out about you?
Yeah.
And Facebook or on your magazine?
Of course, you can always find me on Facebook, just facebook.com/HawkMikado. You can also subscribe to our magazine. If you want a free digital edition of our magazine, just go to funnelmagazine.com and you'll be able to get a free copy of it there. In addition to that, if you want a print edition, we'll give you a print edition for free. All we ask is that you have fun with dogs and that you pay for shipping and handling.
Have fun with dogs. Cody's getting a little loud over there. So awesome. I'm going to certainly be looking at this magazine. Like you said, you're going to have 100 different funnels that make $100,000. We're going to be able to read these guys' minds, look at these funnels, share them, learn how to use them. And that's going to be awesome as well. And tell you what, everybody, a funnel is essentially marketing. And if you're looking to market your company, you got to look to people like Hawk to help you out with that. Okay. Funnel Magazine's going to be all about that. And I hope you guys are all about Hawk here today on the 5 Minute Bark. Hawk, thank you for coming on here today. This has really been fun. We had a couple of technical difficulties getting this going, but we did it. And it's been awesome.
Awesome. I really appreciate you having me on and being able to share my insights with your community.
Yeah. Any last words you want to give anybody before you go?
hire the expert. Whether you hire us or you hire someone else, hire the expert to do the stuff for you. Unless you're run a marketing company, you have the vision, but make sure that you're bringing on the person to do it for you.
Hey everybody, learn from the best. I have now interviewed over 130 guests, and what I've learned was mind-boggling. So I've taken this, packaged it into a number of different courses to help you learn cutting-edge techniques my guests took years to learn. We have over 10 courses available, and these courses will reveal secrets on things like how to become a fearless public speaker, master social media, utilize YouTube, branding for your company, and a whole lot more. Each course includes a presentation along with expert advice from different guests from my show in an interview setting. I can promise you this, everybody, these courses are easily valued at over $300 each, and they're not a simple PDF download. So get your first free course here today at free.codydog.com and start expanding your mind, expanding your education, and get inspired.
Hi guys, Billy Joe Murphy. I just wanted to give a shout out to Dennis and say thank you. I recently got his public speaking course and it was just so amazing, so helpful that I'm actually doing this video right now. Dennis really presented the information with so much authenticity and so much vulnerability that actually made it feel doable. It made it feel like you can do it yourself. So I just wanted to say thank you so much, Dennis. You're such an inspiration. Keep shining your light. Your bark is getting louder and wider, and I love it. So here's to Dennis. Thank you so much, and hope to be on your show someday soon, Dennis. Thank you. Mwah. Namaste.
And then I also started taking Dennis's course, and I love the course. There's so much good content in it. One of my favorite sections that I recently completed was the speaking section, the different modules on public speaking, and I recently had a bunch of public speaking events lined up, so watching those videos, it really helped me get into state, get confident, and come up with some really good ideas to have a more effective presentation. So I implemented the ideas, I utilized the ideas, and I saw the results from using the ideas of the guest experts that he interviewed. So I just can't thank Dennis enough. I am so excited to see how my interview evolves. Once you have that interview, you have it for life. You have the footage for life that you can put in a media kit, you can put on your social media, on your website, you can show people. So that is just amazing. And then the skills that I'm learning from the online course to manufacture my celebrity status, that is just invaluable also.